Assalamu alaikum. This is Attorney Talib Kareem with the Academy of Muslim Achievement. And we are broadcasting live, actually. And we have a really interesting conversation that we have started that we are actually broadcasting via Facebook, via YouTube, and now also we're broadcasting via um, hold on, Clubhouse. And what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to mute, or maybe Zainab, you're gonna have to. Can you mute yourself, Zainab? Listen, great, great. So now we can continue the conversation on Clubhouse. It was pretty tight there. So we're on Clubhouse, we're on YouTube, and we are on Facebook all at the same time. Really, the power of technology is being fully utilized. Again, this is Attorney Talib Kareem. We're having a wonderful conversation. We have Attorney Nafisa Fudail, who is joining us all the way from where, Attorney Fudail, where are you broadcasting from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Amazing, Atlanta, Georgia. Now, Attorney Fudail, I also know that you are on Clubhouse as well, so I think you have to include yourself in that feed, and perhaps you can do so without being, again, having a static. But let's see if you can go into that conversation as well and see if people will. I just clicked you there.
Put me there.
You have to go into that conversation. I'm gonna click there, that person there. Maybe Sister Inas can join us, and let's see if Preacher Moss and also Isa can join us. And one of the interesting things about Clubhouse is that it is a platform that allows for a whole lot of folks to talk at the same time. But I think you have to really you have to use it in a way that is going to again allow you to get the most out of it. So that's the Clubhouse. And in fact, I think that leads us into this conversation that we're having, and that's a conversation around online investing. So we're talking about online social media and how social media platforms like Clubhouse or Facebook or Instagram, they're all just tools, right?
Right.
Tools for a particular purpose. And so because the Academy of Muslim Achievement, our purpose is to encourage people to really serve our Creator, to really sacrifice in that service the way in which we have been taught by the greatest of all time, that is the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him and his companions. So we are encouraging people to achieve that. And so in that spirit, we want to first of all start by saying Bismillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyu sallallahu wa sallam, ashhadu wa la ilaha ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah. Again, this is Attorney Talib Kareem. We are on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Clubhouse, having a wonderful conversation with Attorney Nafisa Fudail, who is an attorney broadcasting again. Where, Attorney Nafisa?
From
Atlanta, Georgia. And I think that before we start this conversation, it would be we would be remiss unless we first asked, how are you doing, Attorney Nafisa? And in order for you to be heard by the listeners on our platform, which is Clubhouse, you're going to have to perhaps take yourself on off of mute. But you're okay right now because nobody else is on. But as soon as someone else joins us, you'd have to take yourself off of mute. But why don't you first of all just tell us, how are you and your family faring in this really challenging world that we find ourselves with respect to the pandemic? How are you doing?
Well, we're doing great. At least I'm doing great. Probably my son would beg the difference since he's in high school and locked in with the virtual learning. But I'm doing great. I'm a tax attorney. I do trading as well. I'm a business advisor. So a lot of my communication with my clients has been online through Zoom and stuff like that. So it wasn't a huge adjustment for me in terms of workflow. I do miss the networking in person and all of that, but because I have a service-based business in terms of my firm and all of that, it's just been interesting. Yeah,
Interesting.
very
Very
interesting.
interesting is a good word. I've been using that word a lot. So let me ask you, Attorney Fudayo, in particular, in terms of this conversation that we're having today with respect to online investment. First of all, do you have any stock, and where you invested in terms of stock?
Well, in terms of basically stock, I don't do individual stock investing. Of course, I have my retirement plan that I just basically do the whole mutual fund thing. But my trading has mostly been in the Forex and cryptocurrency space. And I do some indexes, but not individual stocks that are traded on the stock exchange. So that's what my trading experience is.
And I think it would be good for us. I'm sorry, what did you say? I missed that last.
Thus far.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And let us dive in a little bit into what you just mentioned in terms of Forex and also cryptocurrency. So let's just start back, and if I'm just joining this conversation fresh, tell me what is Forex, and then what is cryptocurrency?
Yeah, Forex just stands for foreign exchange.
Okay.
So basically, you're just exchanging the currencies of the different various countries. And you're just investing in that. So the same as if when you go out of the country, you go to Mexico and you exchange your US dollars for pesos, and then on the way back, you exchange them back. Foreign exchange trading, basically, that's how it kind of operates. Because, just like the dollar fluctuates in its value, of course, other countries' currency fluctuate in their value. And so you're investing in that in that movement, so to speak, or trading in that movement. And you have different types of traders. Some people buy to invest in that space. I'm more of what they call a scalper. I go in, do some trades, and I'm out in the same day.
Okay, interesting.
That's basically how I do it.
And tell me, if you can, what countries do you find having the best stock in which to invest? And are these types of trades are they guided by the Sharia finance rules, and how do they apply to that particular space?
Well, of course, when you talk about Sharia and Islamic law, and rather investing in this manner is permissible, because that's what we're really talking about here. You have different scholars that take different positions on it, but basically at the base of it, what they're relying on, of course, is the verses in the Quran that prohibit gambling, right? Which is there's 3 main verses in the Quran that talk about gambling. And then there's a couple of references to gambling in terms of the Sunnah of the Prophet, right? So they use this, but it's not really defined. What gambling is not defined in the Quran, and it's not defined in the Sunnah, right? So you basically have had different scholars throughout the years who have what you want to call gathered and investigated and came up with what we should follow in terms of
so if I'm interested in learning more about what I need to be doing as somebody interested in making money online, in a way that doesn't hurt me in terms of my relationship with Allah, and doesn't, actually penalize me later on while I'm making this money. What references or what resources do you have? And maybe Sister Zainab can put those into the comments. What resources do you have for making those types of investments in a halal way?
Okay, so let me just first say I'm not an Islamic scholar, but
No, of course. I'm saying, but
right,
what would
my
you, if
approach,
you would advise people,
right,
where should they go?
right. So my approach is we always start with the Quran first,
Okay.
right? So, like I said, there's only 3 verses that mention gambling in terms of that, and then you want to go to the Sunnah. There's only a few verses that talks about gambling in terms of that aspect.
Okay.
There are several different. I
You mentioned scholars.
usually
What scholars specifically do you reference?
I don't have a particular one that I
Okay.
follow. I
Okay.
usually I usually gather from several different sources.
Okay.
Because you have some people that's more conservative. I don't have a particular person, right? But I do know there's more people that are more conservative in terms of
Okay.
their outlook, and there's
Okay.
others that are much more what you might call progressive.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of have to pull those resources together and figure out where your comfort level is.
Now I know that there's a platform called Zoya.finance, and again,
Oh yeah.
maybe Sister Zainab can put that reference into the comment section. And if there's anybody else who have ideas about where people can go to, Zoya.finance is a platform that allows people to look and see whether or not various stocks that they want to invest in
Okay.
are meeting the rules of Sharia compliance. And those rules are pretty, defined by, countries who are Muslim-led countries, and they are, again, placing their own countries' investments in these companies as well, and they again use a chart to determine whether, for example, the company is spending a certain amount of money on things such as like alcohol, or things that are pork, or other things that we as Muslims cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
Things including pornography, and those are some of the things. In addition, they determine whether or not a disproportionate amount of the company's monies are being made by interest, meaning to say loaning people money and getting money in return for those loans over and above the actual money that was lent. And then thirdly, they also look at how much of that company's uh, how much that company is in debt. How much of its earnings are being spent on repaying debt, and how much debt it owes. And so those are the 3 main indexes that I believe are being used. And again, if anybody else has any references, they are welcome to putting that into the comments, and we can again share that with folks. But beyond that, Attorney Fudayo, what are and again, I'm really curious about, because I've seen some differing reports about cryptocurrency, and some
Right.
people asking, well, whether or not cryptocurrency is halal or not, or whether or not you can buy and trade that. What is your take on cryptocurrency? Let's just take off as an investment first of all, and then it is an Islamic investment. Second of all, do you believe that cryptocurrency is a so-called fiat or a fake currency, or do you think that it's based upon some value, and that investing in it is both ethical as Muslims and also smart as an investor?
Well, short answer, yes, it is. It's halal, right? And the reason why I say that is because you have to look at number one, what is Bitcoin or what is cryptocurrency? All it is just a medium of exchange, right? It's just that Bitcoin is based on what they call a blockchain digital system versus being the regular currency or fiat currency, which is more so the physical type of currency when you talk about cash or coins and that value. Even though we use it digitally every time you use a credit card or every time you do a wire transfer, it's still transacting digitally. It's just that the individual currencies, which are not backed by gold, people think that the US dollar is backed by gold, so somehow that makes it much more sustainable or much more halal, but it's not. It has not been backed by gold since 1970s. So it's only backed by
the full faith and credit, right?
And trust, a confidence and trust that we have in it, right? And it's controlled politically by whatever government that particular currency is in, unlike Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has, in and of itself, it's just a medium of exchange. In and of itself is not anything haram or about it. Now you can use it for haram purposes,
right?
Like you can use regular money for haram purposes, but in and of itself, it's just a medium of exchange that is based on an electronic, digital blockchain system.
Now, speaking of blockchain system, a lot of people don't understand this so-called blockchain system. And again, we welcome anybody to put any of their references inside the chat and comments so we can see that. But like money or dollars are printed by the United States Mint,
Right.
people can also mine Bitcoin. Can you talk a little bit about how that process and how people are making money by mining Bitcoin?
Yeah, I could talk a little bit about it in terms of the whole blockchain system. I know when we talk about it, people don't really understand what we mean, but I like to give the analogy kind of like Legos. Legos, the building blocks, the kids building blocks. And so what you basically have is you have these individual digital blocks, and each digital block basically is just has or keeps a ledger of all the transactions that take place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, using cryptocurrency. So that's basically the foundation. And these there's different computer systems in the blockchain that are set up all around the world. That's why they say it's decentralized, because it's not housed in one particular country or one particular company that controls all the different blockchain mines, if you want to say, that are placed at different places around the world.
And so could I ask you on that, is it true that anybody who has a computer can actually mine Bitcoin in order to create this blockchain that can then represent or result in a part of that Bitcoin being deposited in his or her ledger? Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I don't know the intricate the details about. I do know that there are specific people that have been charged with mining, and they get so much of the work that they do, they are paid in Bitcoin. I do know that. But in terms of rather just anybody could just open up a computer and mine, no, I don't think that's the case, but I don't know exactly how that works.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And these are some of the things that we are looking forward to talking about, so people can get the answers to the
Right.
questions that they have tomorrow in our conversation that we're going to be doing on Hopin tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. We invite you all to go to either the Academy of Muslim Achievement or the Muslim Oscars on Instagram. If you go to the Muslim Oscars on Instagram, you can check out the login credentials for getting in that conversation. You can also go to the Academy of Muslim Achievement.org. We can ask, again, Sister Zainab to put that information into the chat here so people can go and get that. Too bad you can't do a chat on using Clubhouse, but you can go to is it Muslim Oscars or the Muslim Oscars? Sister Zainab, I thought it was the Muslim Oscars, but I could be wrong there. But nevertheless, if you can, or maybe you're right, maybe it is Muslim Oscars, in which I was wrong for that post that I made earlier today. Nevertheless, if you can, if folks are interested, you can go to Muslim Oscars, go to that that platform and get the information. You can also go to the Academy of Muslim Achievement. And what's that? The website. Make sure you can put the website there, and you can register for this conversation to get your questions answered about your Bitcoin, about halal Islamic finance, and even about tax implications of getting into investing online. And let's talk a little bit about that, since you are a tax attorney. What does it mean to be a tax attorney? And what are some of the issues in particular relate to taxes? And we're coming upon tax season now.
Right.
What do people who are investing in either Bitcoin or other types of currencies and or investments need to be thinking about in order to participate or in order to avoid tax issues?
Right. Well, as a tax attorney, I specialize in representing people before the IRS or before state revenue departments, the Georgia Department of Revenue, or specifically since I'm in Georgia. So anytime that any business or individual gets in trouble with the IRS or a state government agency revenue department, then I help them resolve the issue. I help them negotiate and resolve the issue. So that's basically in terms of the majority of what I do. But basically, of course, we dive into the tax law, right? In terms
so,
of
if I could ask you, Sister Attorney Fudail,
yes.
If I make money from an investment using, let's say, cryptocurrency, and how would the government know that I made that money, since it's not pegged to any government system? A, and then B, am I required to report that money? Two. So can you answer those questions?
Yes, I'll answer the last one first. The last question was, yes, you're required to report it, because the IRS's position is, if you're a U.S. citizen, that they tax all income from whatever source unless it specifically is excluded. So that's worldwide income. No matter where you make your money, anywhere in the world, whether you're talking about physically someplace else in the world or you're talking about digitally, that's their position, unless it's specifically excluded.
So any money you make either in a crypto world or any physical space, even though cryptocurrency is not supposed to be connected to the government, you are still required to report that money that you make when you sell that cryptocurrency, or if you mine cryptocurrency, you still have to report that. Is that correct?
Yes. Any increase in wealth, no matter from whatever source, unless it's specifically excluded.
Now, so second of all, does for example, if I own Bitcoin,
Right.
and I sell it, is Bitcoin or the owners of Bitcoin, I don't know who that might be, but you might know, do they report every time someone sells that, or is it the wallet that you have? Are they reporting it? Generating, I guess, a 1099. Can you speak to that?
Right. Okay. So as a practical matter, so we know what we're supposed to do, right? But as a practical matter, it's not like the stock exchange, right? You know, when you trade stocks on the stock exchange, and at the end of the year, you're going to get from your broker a 1099B, right? Which basically details all your stock transactions for the year. It's not like that in the crypto space and in the Forex space. However,
Forex being foreign exchange.
yes, the foreign exchange space. And however, if you have a broker, if you're using a broker that's US based, they are required to produce those kind of statements to issue that. That's a Coinbase got into a lot of trouble with the US government about that. So they supposed to be issuing, I think, 1099Bs or something like that.
Now, I'll also mention that my wallet that I use, which is Cash App, I was just issued a 1099B from Cash App, and it was interesting. I mean, I made all of, let's say, maybe $3 or maybe $9 or something, silly like that. But nevertheless, I did, and they issued it. So is that what again, cryptocurrency platforms are now, or is it not the cryptocurrency's responsibility, but the wallet that you're using to actually sell that cryptocurrency? Whose responsibility is it?
Right. So what's happening is what they call KYC, right? So a lot of times when you sign up with these brokers or different wallets or whatever, they have you do a KYC, know your customer, which is kind of like the same information when you go to a bank, how they wanted your social security number, your ID, and all that other kind of stuff. And the reason why they're collecting this information is because for them to be able to issue those type of reports at the end of the year. Now, for the most part, if you keep your cryptocurrency, if, for example, if you invested in Bitcoin and you keep your Bitcoin in Bitcoin, in other words, you don't transfer it over to US dollars, it doesn't necessarily trigger automatically these reports.
So you're not basically generating income in that way. You just
No, we're not using. We got to use the right language.
Okay.
I didn't say income. I said report. You're generating income. Now, there's 6 ways that you generate income in the cryptocurrency space.
Okay.
You generate income when you sell. Let's just deal with Bitcoin, for example. If you buy your Bitcoin at one price and you sell it for a higher price, you generated income, correct?
Okay, that's one way.
That's one way. Another way is if you buy your Bitcoin and now you're going to exchange it for Ethereum. Okay,
another currency.
That's another taxable transaction. Okay, if you buy Bitcoin and you exchange it for US dollars, that's going to be a taxable transaction.
Okay, that's 3.
Yeah. Okay. Then you have another way, what they call these master nodes. And basically what it is just like a computer hub that a person, and this might have been what you were talking about earlier. It's kind of like a computer hub that a person can own, or a group of people or a company can own, that kind of manages a network around cryptocurrency. It's not necessarily mining, but they call it a node, right?
Okay.
So and it requires a certain capital investment, right?
So that's 4.
And what you get from that, what you get paid back from that is what they call reward points.
Okay.
So it kind of operates like dividends, right?
Okay.
So dividends, you buy stock and then you issue dividends, quarterly or whatever. It kind of represents that. So that's a taxable transaction when you get those rewards. from
Okay.
the Masternodes in the cryptocurrency space.
Okay. Okay.
So those are just some of the things, and this is just some of the stuff that we're going to talk about tomorrow that we really want to encourage y'all to talk about, because a lot of people have gotten into investing in stocks since we've been in this COVID period. Everybody's at home, so they've gotten into investing in stocks. They've gotten into investing in the Forex space and cryptocurrency, and so they received all these reports or left at the end of the year, or now at the beginning of the year during tax season, like, what am I supposed to do? I have these wash sales. What does that mean? Am I really a day trader? Because that has certain benefits. Maybe I'm not a day trader, all this other kind of stuff. So we're going to talk about all those tax implications tomorrow, which they can have severe tax consequences if people are not informed.
Well, thank you so much. This has been amazing. And let's make sure we put Attorney Fudail's website out there. Again, you can join us in the conversation tomorrow on Hopin by clicking on our Facebook page and also our Instagram page for those who are on who are checking us out on Clubhouse. You can specifically go to Muslim Oscars, the Instagram page, Muslim Oscars, and go there and get the information about joining our conversation tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a number of speakers, including Attorney Nafisa Fudail, who is a tax attorney, as well as Habib Ghanem from the Islamic Chamber of Commerce. We also have one of our sponsors is a former NFL football player, Hussein Abdullah, and we are grateful for his support as well as the support of Islamic Relief and also Engage and also Amana Mutual Funds and also Senator Sharif Street, as well as, again, also the CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, and the Prince George's County Muslim Council. All of these and more have joined forces to help to create this great conversation tomorrow. We look forward to you all joining us. Do you have any last comments or bits of encouragement for people to join us tomorrow, Attorney Fudail?
I just want to say we look forward to y'all joining us. We're going to talk some more, give some more information about the whole Forex space, about the cryptocurrency space, and also about stock investing and the halal implications of all of that and the tax consequences. So make sure that you join us tomorrow. You don't want to miss it.
Well, this has been a great preview of that conversation. I'm looking forward to seeing you once again in our virtual space, all the way, even though I'm all the way here in Washington, D.C., and you're all the way there in Atlanta. Yeah. And for all of our brothers and sisters, see, we have Sister Radia, and I'll see we can go and invite to speak, and we'll follow you as well. And also Sister Suhaila, assalamu alaikum. We'll go ahead and invite you to join us, and we're already following you. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Suhaila and Sister Radia. How are you all doing? I pray that you guys have gotten something out of this conversation so far.
I actually pronounce it Radia.
Radia, barakallahu feek. Alhamdulillah, I appreciate you.
Yes, this is becoming a new love language of mine.
Oh, is that a fact? MashaAllah. Okay.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Are you
very happy to find it.
Are you an owner of cryptocurrency, dear sister?
I'm involved in the company, and we're actually launching at the end of the month, inshallah, where you earn Bitcoin.
Okay, so you actually can earn. Are you guys gonna be doing some mining, cryptocurrency mining?
Possibly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very interesting. Well, we're looking forward to. Did you get the information about joining our conversation tomorrow on Hopin?
No.
Okay, so that's, again, you can go to our Instagram page, which is Muslim Oscars, you can go and get the information about joining that conversation, or you can go to our website, which is the Academy of Muslim Achievement.org. Do you see it? I don't know if you have the ability to use your phone and actually check it out that way.
Yeah, the
Muslim Oscars on Instagram. Do you see there?
Right, I saw that. But the website?
The website is the Academy of Muslim Achievement.org. And I'm going to ask, yes, and so you can check that out, and we can you can make sure that you get a chance to participate. And I see Sister Suhaila. You can, Sister Suhaila, if you'd like to speak, you can unmute yourself or join the conversation and share with us if you are invested in cryptocurrencies and or stocks, and what your experience has been for that. I see Attorney Nafisa has joined us back, and she's also in the Clubhouse space. But I don't know if any of you guys checked. I'm a purchaser of Bitcoin, a small amount, nothing like Elon Musk or other companies. Although one of the things I've been thinking about, quite frankly, is moving the monies in our company's bank account, moving those monies into Bitcoin. And I'd be curious tomorrow when we have this conversation with Attorney Fudail about what the the advice about that might be. And the reason why is because, again, we have these monies that are sitting in our account, particularly, we have large amount of money, particularly at the end of the month, in order to pay our end of the month bills. And so I was just thinking, what is the advice about moving some of these large sums of monies that you have into Bitcoin, and what are the the practical risks? I know that there are risks. I mean, even today, as I said, I moved some money into Bitcoin, I think early this morning before the stock market opened, about like 7 o'clock. And then, or maybe it was yesterday. So it was yesterday, like around 7 o'clock. And then it went down. And I had moved it out because Bitcoin had been going up, and it exceeded 50,000. And so I had money in it. And then I saw the price like going down, plummeting overnight. And so I moved my money out in order to kind of keep some of the profits that I made. But again, it's been going back and forth. You have closing thoughts about that, Sister Nafisa? I know we're going to be talking about it tomorrow.
Right. Yes, you definitely. So you got to have a strategy, and you got to have a strategy about just investing in general, because especially in a cryptocurrency space and in Forex space, because there could be a lot of volatility, right? And so, yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow.
All right. Well, you guys got to join us tomorrow evening. We're going to be having this conversation. So, Suhaila, I hope you were able to check out that Facebook or Instagram page, Muslim Oscars, and you got the information that you needed in order to join us, because we're going to be continuing that conversation then, and hopefully you'll be able to join us at that time. And Sister Radia, we pray that you and your family will be able to participate, and you will find some benefit in this information as we seek to not only make money, but realize that both our money as well as our lives are in the hands fi ayadillah, as they say, right? And our job is to use this, whatever Allah has given us, to show kindness to our parents, as Allah says in the Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. وَأَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ لَا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا اللَّهَ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَذِي الْقُرْبَى وَيَتَامَى وَمَسَاكِينَ وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ الْحُسْنَى. Right? So again, these are the basics. Even before Allah commands us to make salat and give zakat, is to, again, be again, avoid the the worship of anything but Allah, and then to be kind to our parents, and then use our monies to take care of our relatives and those people who are close to our parents, and then beyond that, the obligation is to take care of people who don't have parents, the orphans, and then those who are poor, and then generally to use our resources to take care of those people around us. This is what our obligation is as Muslims, and so we can't get it twisted, as they say, right?
Right.
We're not here, just to try to increase our wealth, but we're here to use what Allah has given to us, which are in some cases wealth, some cases health, um, some cases knowledge, but to use these assets that Allah has given to us, right, and that are ultimately belong to Him, to use them again in a way to pass the test, because He's given these things to us,
Right.
to only see how we're going to do what we're going to do with them, right?
Right. That's
Last
right.
comments, Sister Attorney Nafisa Fudayo.
Right. And we also just have to remember, that on the day of judgment, one of the questions we're going to be asked is, how do we earn our wealth and how do we spend our wealth?
All right. Well, I
we
think
can end on that note.
That's it. Kalash. The mic has been dropped. The mic has been dropped. All right. Well, may Allah be with you, dear sister. Again, I have Sister Yasmin. Yasmin, I don't know if you want to, say anything. We also have Silky and Suhaila. You guys have anything to say before we conclude? The table is open for you to say something. But if not, we want to make sure that you got the information about joining our hop-in conversation tomorrow. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. You can go to the Muslim or go to Muslim Oscars on Instagram. That's Muslim Oscars on Instagram. And get that information to join us. Yasmin, assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair. Literally, that's what I was going to ask. When is the next time that you will have this room open?
Absolutely. So we're going to be on Hopin, which is a different platform than Clubhouse, but it's Hopin tomorrow. And if you can go to the Instagram link or the Instagram site or the Instagram address, Muslim Oscars, you can get the information about how to join us. We are planning also to create a Clubhouse so we can have a regular conversations. But we are looking forward to doing this on a regular basis. Where are you based, first of all, Sister Yasmin?
Chicago.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah, barakallahu feekum. I pray that you all are warm there in Chicago. I know it gets real cold in Chicago.
Yeah, it is. It is. We just got a little bit of sunlight. Are you located in D.C.?
Yes, ma'am. We're based in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Well, Jazakallah khair for all you do. I just realized that I walked in here as you guys were getting ready to conclude. So Jazakallah khair for taking the time to have this platform available.
Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah for just the time as well. And again, if anybody wants to continue the conversation, again, we're having this second conversation tomorrow, 7 p.m. at on Hopin. Just go to Muslim Oscars on Instagram, and you can get the information. We will conclude by just saying, as we began, that all of our wealth and our health are all for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And with that, we say, Subhanaka wa bihamdika wa astaghfirullah wa la ilaha illa anta wa atubu ilayk. May Allah shower His mercy and His bounty and His maghfirah upon us all, and allow us to not only have good conversation in this life, but allow us to have the best of conversations, bi yawm al-qiyamah and Jannat al-Firdaus. With that, assalamu alaikum, and we look forward to talking with you soon. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen.